How we doing, guys? Back with Bobby. So I was thinking while I was getting myself together about what drove me down the road of addiction for so many years. And for the parents out there that always tell your kids, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. How about taking the time to explain to them why they shouldn't do it and what they should do? You know, maybe words of encouragement, not, oh, don't touch that, don't do this, what the hell, what the fuck, don't do all that, what are you doing that for? This is ridiculous. Oh my God. You know, maybe explain to the children why they shouldn't do this, why they shouldn't say that, why it's bad, how they know. So if you explain to children what they should do and why they shouldn't do things instead of just yelling at them or hollering at them, you know, would probably get them a lot further in life than just yelling at them why not to do something. Then they run down to the fucking Detroit or to their buddy's house to smoke weed or to Detroit to get a fucking bag of Coke or whatever the case is. Because I know personally for me and myself, I was always yelled at as a kid. Don't do this, don't do that, don't touch this, don't touch that. But why? Why don't touch that? Why don't do this? Because that drove me back into addiction and started me off at a young age into addiction. I didn't even know what addiction was at age 9 when my dad died. And nobody took the time to explain why. I mean, some people did along the way, but my mom explained certain things, but mostly it was like, well, don't do this, well, don't do that, you know what I mean? There was no explanation of why not to do it. Oh, we see your grandpa, don't you? Why don't do this? But no, as a kid, I always felt good when I would do stuff that I was told not to do. In my mind, I felt good. You know what I mean? So it's like for parents to sit there and yell at their kids and tell them what not to do, what to do, but never give an explanation of why is asinine to me. And that, I just had an epiphany because that is what drove me back to my addiction or into addiction at a very young age. Aunts, babysitters, grandma, you know. People don't explain why to their children not to do something. They just explain, don't do it. They yell at you or, you know. And then being as kids, you're curious. You want to explore. You want to know why you shouldn't do things. So, for all you parents out there that just sit there and yell at your kids, why don't you take the time to explain why not to do everything? That's why my son, when I do have him, he knows that he can swear, but he don't swear in front of adults around dad, you know? I let him break glass along the back fence that I accommodate from jobs and stuff. And when he breaks the glass, he likes it, so it makes him feel good, you know? Because my son's just like me. He's like my twin. I shall call him Mini-Me. But long story short, parents, start explaining to your children why not to do certain things and what they should do, and an explanation behind everything, I believe strongly is key to kids doing the right thing and not veering off. Well, why is everyone telling me not to do this? Or why shouldn't I do that? Or, well, I'm going to try it out for myself. Because that's what I did growing up as a kid. And I didn't give a fuck about what any one of these motherfuckers thought. You know what I mean? Now being where I'm at today, I will help kids every day. I help families every day. I give people things. and I explain why to any child that I come into contact with. I explain to why they shouldn't do things, what they can do, and what they shouldn't do, but I have an explanation behind everything. So you parents out there yelling and hollering at your kids, telling them not to do this, not to do that. Well, how about give them an explanation so we don't have another generation of people that want to just get high and do nothing and no ethic, which I always had work ethic. I was lucky because I had a good family, but a lot of people don't. And when they're too far gone, they're too far gone. So keep that in mind. Have a blessed day, everyone.